Headline: State government launches the Akwa Ibom Enterprise and Employment Scheme AKIS. Winners of rerun election into the State House of Assembly take oath as Speaker. Refers discussion on motion to review existing plans to next sitting. Keep fit exercise for civil servants. Jogging serve better. Holds Saturday this week. Federal government concludes plans to hold national summit on culture and tourism. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Top of the morning, and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Samuel Udofia. Governor Udom Emmanuel has launched the Akwa Ibom Enterprise and Employment Scheme AKIS. The scheme is initiated by his administration. The launch of the scheme took place at its first organized expo held at the Ibom Hall, Uyo. Colonel Edemefreti takes us there.
Governor Udom Emmanuel said he was pleased to launch the scheme as it represents a great hope of making the state a great enterprise in future. Mr. Udom Emmanuel, who described the act as launch of a seed of God, said with AKIS, the untapped potentials in Akwa Ibom youth would be harnessed for greater yield. The governor expressed joy at the products of the scheme exhibited at its expo stands, saying the scheme was timely as it solves the need for diversification occasioned by the current economic crisis in the country. He expressed confidence that with AKIS and government's investment in agri-businesses, prices of foodstuff such as gari would in 2 years' time drop tremendously.
When I did a tour of the stands, I think I got a little bit overwhelmed. Great potentials, quite exceptional performance within a short period. And the manner we've translated our vision into concrete layers and the call for duty and responsibility on me as a governor and for taking our own destiny as football head into our hands is what this enterprise represents today.
Setting the tone for the event, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Technical Matters and Due Process, Elder Ofort Ebong, said that the scheme was initiated to reduce unemployment and reawaken entrepreneurship spirit in Akwa Ibom youths. He said the scheme was also to prepare Akwa Ibom youths for the envisaged job boom given the state government industrialization pursuit. Stressing that the Udom Emmanuel administration was committed to recreating the big names lost in the state business sector, Mr. Ofort assured that AKIS would never disappoint the 11% of the 15,000 targeted number who registered.
The aim initially was to reduce unemployment, but most importantly, to get our people ready to take advantage of the industrial boom that is coming.
Guest speakers at the event addressed the people on the need to diversify, take initiative, and to be business-oriented. They include Dr. Emmanuel Ekuem, Mr. Ekano Agabi, Professor Vincent Anibogu, and Dr. Adelaja Adeshino. Colonel Edemefreti reporting.
The 4 persons who won last month's rerun election into the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly have been sworn in. The swearing-in was performed by the Speaker of the Assembly, Barrister Onofiok Luke, during yesterday's plenary. Udoikong has details.
Those sworn in by the Speaker, Barrister Onofiok Luke, were Dongeson Tekbere, who represent Ikorekbene Obodokara State Constituency, Effiong Basi, Oron Udonwoko, Dennis Akpan Etinan, and Anye Kanuko, Ibesipo Sultan State Constituencies.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance. That as a member of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly,
I will perform my functions honestly.
I will perform my functions honestly
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Administering the oath on the new legislators in the presence of party faithful and supporters, the Speaker urged them to continue to provide effective representation that would improve the fortunes of their constituents.
I believe that they are tired of in their spirit to be able to come, to put hands together, to work for the betterment of our tribal society, in particular, and Nigeria as a country, and humanity as a whole in general.
During Tuesday's plenary, the House of Assembly received a motion from the member representing Ibionibom State constituency, Barrister Eme Okon, calling for a holistic review of existing clans in Akwa Ibom State.
Ibionibom is one of the largest local government areas in the state, but regrettably, we have only two recognized clans. Indeed, our people are objected. One, why they have not benefited from the latest exercise.
Discussions on the motion were, however, deferred to next sitting of the House.
I want to defer debate on this motion till the next sitting, and I ask the Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics, and Privilege to schedule this motion on notice for the next sitting. That's the order of this House.
Uduakekong reporting.
Governor Udom Emmanuel has called on the people not to discriminate against people living with disabilities. He was speaking at the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital while flagging off a 2-day audio metric assessment test and donation of hearing aid devices for hearing impaired persons. Livingstone Daniel reports that the exercise was sponsored by the MTN Foundation and International Center for Prevention of Deafness and Rehabilitation of Hearing Impaired Persons in collaboration with the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare. The report.
Represented by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Dominic Ukpong, Governor Udom Emmanuel declared the situation where some people take advantage of the people living with disability, either for economic gains or otherwise, and call for a change of attitude. The governor noted that his administration was not relenting in its effort to cater for every member of the society, irrespective of class or deformity. He appreciated the MTN Foundation and its partners for conducting audiometric assessment tests aimed at assessing the degree of deafness in persons with hearing defects, with a view to donating hearing aid devices to them.
The importance of this exercise cannot be overemphasized, given the increasing incidence of hearing loss amongst people of all ages in our society today. My administration is determined to ensure that those with disabilities are not left to the vagaries of nature. These disabilities should not mean or be seen as the end of their productive life.
The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Edet, said that deafness poses a great challenge to the destinies of potential nation builders who, due to this deformity, have not been able to acquire education, and thanked MTN Foundation for this exercise, which she described as apt and timely. Dr. Edet said that the state government has not relented effort in taking care of socially disadvantaged persons through financial empowerment, sponsorship of their education, provision of mobility aids, skill acquisition to enable them to become self-reliant.
May I therefore use this occasion to express the state government's sincere gratitude to MTN Foundation and the project partner for this exercise. Will bring a great sense of relief to the beneficiaries, as it will help turn their lives around, while they can now pursue their dreams confidently and have a sense of belonging in the society without limitations.
The director of MTN Foundation, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ukeyu, said MTN places high premium on people living with disability as part of their corporate social responsibility. Mr. Ukeyu said they will conduct the audiometric test on 350 persons to ascertain the degree of their deafness and shortlist 250, which will eventually collect the hearing aid device which according to him cost 400,000. On his part, the country director, International Center for Prevention of Deafness and Rehabilitation of Hearing Impaired Persons, Dr. Enenche Audu, said that putting smiles on the faces of the less privileged informed their decision to co-sponsor the exercise.
MTN Foundation is an organization that has the background, the well-being. There are so many corporate entities operating in this country, but it's only MTN has come forward to pay back to society, to community, for their support.
For the past 6 years, MTN Foundation has been working hard to reunite people, reintegrate people back into their society through activities such as this.
The Chief Medical Director of the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, Professor Itete Peters, said the hospital is supporting the exercise by allowing its facilities to be used for the test, including some of its personnel. Some beneficiaries expressed his gratitude to the state government and MTN Foundation for the gesture.
I really appreciate our governor for what he has done today. It will be a memorable event in the history of Akwa Ibom State.
I'm thankful to His Excellency the State Governor for bringing MTN Nigeria to package this exercise for the deaf people in Akwa Ibom State.
Livingston Daniel reporting.
6 persons have been apprehended by the state government for illegal sand mining in the state. The arrest was made during a tour by government officials to a sand mining site at Afrai Korosom, Ibesipua Sutem local government area. Etienne Waiba filed in this report, presented in our studios.
The illegal sand miners were caught on excavating when the team comprising the Commissioner for Environment and Mineral Resources, Dr. Inyebong Essien, Commissioner for Works, Mr. Fremi Yangayen, and that of Information and Communications, Mr. Nyeka Numana, as well as Chairman, House Committee on Environment, Mr. David Lawrence, among others, visited the site. The team also impounded a payloader and dredgers. The state government expressed concern over the increasing rate of illegal mining operations in the state, warning that it will deal with anyone caught doing so. Speaking to newsmen, the Commissioner for Environment and Mineral Resources, Dr. Inyebong Essien, said the ministry was committed to ensuring that miners in the state operate according to laid down regulations. He advised sand dredgers to follow environmental impact assessment analysis and warned that government would not take it lightly with those involved in illegal sand mining, as they constitute majority of those who degrade the environment.
Whoever wants to mine sand should follow clear-cut procedures. And we have set up a body which even includes the Association of Miners or Dredgers in the state. The chairman of the Dredgers Association in the state is part of that committee. And we have called on all of them to come forward so that whatever mining that is taking place should be regulated.
On his part, the Commissioner for Works, Mr. Fremi Yangayen, urged communities, groups and individuals to rise and support the government to save environment from degradation.
At the rate of what we're seeing here, we guarantee that in another 3 months of heavy downpour, we would have lost this community. It is not a make-believe, it's a practical thing. So I think at this point in time, the entire Akwa Ibom people will have to rise up together in unison, no division, to arrest this devastation.
Also speaking, the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Nyeka Numana, decried the use of water PVC pipes belonging to Akwa Ibom Water Company Limited to dredge sand, and suspected a high-level connivance of some government elements.
Because what this reveals is high-level connivance. It reveals a network of people sabotaging the interests of the people of Akwa Ibom State and the government of the state, because from what we can see, so the entirety of the investment of government in providing public water is sabotaged by a group of people who move hallowed pipes, steel pipes, PVC pipes for public water, and then they're using them right here to dredge sand for their private interest.
For the Chairman, House Committee on Environment, Mr. David Lawrence, the House of Assembly may enact enabling laws to restrict sand mining in the state. Investigation revealed some pipes heaped for dredging were property of Akwa Ibom Water Company Limited.
As part of government's efforts at ensuring that public servants stay healthy and fit for effective job delivery, monthly jogging exercise for public servants in Akwa Ibom State has been reintroduced. A government statement in Uyo indicates that the exercise will be flagged off by the State Governor, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, on Saturday, 9th April 2016. According to the statement, the head of civil service, Mrs. Ekerabong Akpan, has invited all public servants to be part of the exercise, which is taking off from Ibom Plaza, Uyo, by 6:30 a.m. Federal government concludes plans to hold a national summit on culture and tourism as Code of Conduct Tribunal resumes trial of Senate President. In a moment, stay with us. Still watching AM News, and I'm Samuel Udofia. The Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Godwin Tugude, has advised park operators in the state to work towards generating revenue for government. Dr. Ntugude gave the advice when he undertook an on-the-spot inspection of parks in the metropolis to assess the level of work done. Ayanopo takes us there.
Parks visited by the Commissioner were Mbiabong, Nongoko, Long Distance, and Itam Parks. At the Mbiabong Park, Dr. Ntugude inspected the surroundings, conveniences, the waiting hall, water taps, and interacted with the commuters. The operators complained of lack of power generating sets to pump water and also promised to improve the sanitary condition of the park. When the Commissioner and his team arrived to Nongoko Park, he was received by members of the Park Management Committee. After inspecting all the units of the park, Dr. Ntugude expressed dissatisfaction with the level of patronage by commuters and the unkempt situation of the area. The Commissioner also complained of the low revenue generation of the park as well as disunity among the committee members. The chairman of the Park Management Committee, Hilary Okun Johnson, told the Commissioner of the legal parks allegedly operated by the task force inaugurated by the ministry.
We have realized that we still have much to do through our task force to eradicate touting and illegal parks. And those illegal parks we've today been told where they are still remaining now and are operating. And we've directed the task force to, ensure that they are not there.
I have made my investigation and discover that the Team A and Team B has been collecting bribe from Akara Junction and Plaza. So I'm crying here because two illegal parks operating Nongoko Parks. How do I survive?
From Nongoko, the team moved to Long Distance Park, where the Commissioner expressed satisfaction at the level of patronage by commuters, cleanliness of the surroundings, the security network, and constant water supply. The last port of call was Itam Park. There, Dr. Ntugude inspected the different units but warned that abandoned vehicles should be cleared and lauded the Divisional Police Officer of D Division, Mark Nwaiba, for providing security to the parks in the area. The Commissioner also visited a damaged road at Ikorik Witam, linking flyover Itam Park and Eketise. Dr. Ntugude advised commuters to be patient, that the state government will intervene before the rains begin. At the end of the exercise, the Commissioner said the inspection was to charge the park management committees to go back to the drawing board.
Ministry of Transport has a responsibility, as directed by His Excellency Mr. Dom Gabriel Emmanuel, in order to effect the envisaged sustainable development and superior performance. Of course, is to ensure proper management and coordination of all the subsectors in the transport industry. And so, as part of such responsibility, we have to be visiting banks as often as possible to ensure that there is compliance with our expectation.
Yagenopo reporting.
Journalists in the state assembled at the Kwaibo Church at Weatherford Sunday to thank God for His mercies and grace over them. Led by the state chairman of the NUJ, Elder Patrick Albert, who was accompanied by his wife, the service was also attended by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Mr. Onofio Luke, the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Anyeka Numana, and the Special Advisor Labour, Comrade Unyema Usoro. The story.
Others were the Special Advisor to the Governor on Local Media, Ukomo, the State Chairman of the NLC, members of the Central Working Committee of the Union, past Chairman of the NUJ, and veteran members of the Union. The Chairman, Elder Patrick Albert, said that the journalists were in the church to appreciate God, who has been their benefactor, because according to him, without God, nothing meaningful can be achieved. Elder Albert said that the Union was grateful to God for giving it the strength, wisdom, and finances to move the Union to its present status, and thanked members for their cooperation shown the executive in the last 2.5 years. The chairman of the NUJ thanked the church for their prayers and indicated the willingness of journalists in the state to support the growth of the gospel at all times.
And together, we have worked to ensure that the successes in NUJ
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Barrister Onofio Luke, in his remarks described the journalists as a necessary ally in the development process of any society. He expressed appreciation to them for cooperating with the House and the state government generally to ensure sustained development and peace in the state.
I am an advocate of open and transparent government, and I will not turn away from that.
The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Anyeka Numana, said the state government was happy with the conduct of journalists in the state, giving the very high percentage of positive reportage of government policies and programs by a good percentage of the media operating in the state. Mr. Mana said that the government, under the leadership of Mr. Dom Emmanuel, will continue to work with the Union and development-oriented media to achieve the goal of sustainable development of the state through the provision of infrastructure, quality education, economic empowerment of the people, and good health.
His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Dom Emmanuel, who assured that he will do that project and ensure it's done in record time. The train is going on, they're compacting right now, and very soon transport will come on it. It's one vision that I really wanted to see realized, and I'm happy that that is taking place now.
Others who spoke included the Special Advisor to the Governor on Labour, Comrade Unyema Usoro, and the Chairman of the State NLC. Preaching on the caption, The Grace of God, the resident minister of Kwaibo Church, Weatherford, the Reverend Idong Sidingwang, said that man exists by the grace of God. Reverend Ingwang, who is also the chaplain, said the grace of God pervades every aspect of human life, and without, nothing is possible, as it takes the grace of God to plan, execute, succeed, and forgive.
The federal government has concluded plans to hold a 3-day national summit on culture and tourism. And the Code of Conduct Tribunal has resumed the trial of the Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki. These and other stories in our national and foreign news.
The federal government has concluded plans to hold a 3-day national summit on Culture and Tourism, scheduled for April 27 to April 29. Ahead of the summit and ahead of a formal partnership, a working session between the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture and the British Council on the planned collaboration between the two has been organized. The working session was organized to provide a platform for better understanding between the two countries. The theme of the summit is repositioning culture and tourism in a diversified economy. The trial of Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki resumed at the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Abuja. The Code of Conduct Tribunal had on March 24 ruled that it has jurisdiction to hear the case against Dr. Saraki on alleged false declaration of assets while he was governor of Kwara State. Counsel to the Senate President, Mr. Paul Usoro, had asked for an adjournment on resumption of the trial, explaining that it would allow the Court of Appeal to arrive at a decision, having fixed its hearing for April 26. The chairman of the tribunal, Danladi Umar, ruled that the application before the Court of Appeal cannot stop the commencement of the trial based on the provisions of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act.
The body of the village head of Ikorabian in Nseretai local government area, Chief Okon Udom Baba, 115, has been laid to rest. He was the father of Justina Okon Baba of the Administration Directorate of the AKBC. The burial ceremony, attended by Nseretai Traditional Rulers Council, staff of the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, among others, was conducted by Methodist Church Nigeria, Ikorabian, in Yabase Circuit. The Reverend Kufre Abase Yasukwo of the Ebenezer Circuit, Diocese of Adiadia, said all Christians must be prepared for death at all times, noting that it is a journey every mortal must undertake. Taking his text from John's Gospel, chapter 6, speaking on the topic, "Those who know him shall never thirst," the Reverend Asukwa also advised Christians to repent of their sins, stressing that after death is judgment. The deceased biography, read by his son, Mr. Mfoni Me, indicated that Chief Okon Udom Baba, alias Akbangwa Esien, was the tribalized village head, a devout Christian whose wise counsels to the younger generation will be greatly missed. His closeness to his people was legendary, while his cheerful aura made him easily loved and accepted by everyone.
Praying for the dead to go and rest, but since time and hour is not with man, he continued to bear with God like Simeon in the Bible and put up a brave fight of God's legacy in his own capacity.
Condolence messages were received from various organizations, while various choirs sang at the occasion. The deceased children said their late father was a charismatic and disciplined man who commanded the respect of the people. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45Uyo or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now to end the news, the top stories. Governor Udom Emmanuel has launched the Akwa Ibom Enterprise and Employment Scheme, AKIS. The scheme is initiated by his administration. The launch of the scheme took place at its first organized expo held at the Ibom Hall, Uyo. As part of government's efforts at ensuring that public servants stay healthy and fit for effective job delivery, the monthly jogging exercise for public servants in Akwa Ibom State has been reintroduced. That's our package. Thanks for watching and have a great Wednesday. Good morning.